I am drowning in a swamp below the pits of hell, and I don't have a life vest.
Sometimes realize there's nowhere.
You have tuned into Breaking the Mask of Depression with your host, Diva with Depression.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Breaking the Mask of Depression with me, your host, the Diva with Depression. How are you guys doing? It feels like I've been gone for a year, and I just took probably the month of June off. And guys, it wasn't planned. I know that this is everybody in the world, but there's just an uneasy feeling in the world. A couple of deaths occurred in my world. Sickness, exhaustion. And, I just could not find the energy to give you guys quality quality broadcast. And so I felt that it was better to take the time off than to come on and be half-assed. I did do some rebroadcasts, so I hope you guys caught up. If you didn't catch up, you can always go over to any podcast player on the web and, listen to some of the older broadcasts. Okay, we'll get to me in a minute. July is National Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. And it started in 2008, July 2008, and it began as Bebe Moore Campbell National Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. And for those of you who don't remember, Bebe Moore Campbell was an amazing author. Some great books. Your Blues Ain't Like Mine. That's the one that I can think of at the top of my head because I really like that book. And she went through different changes with her emotional health, and so she decided that, this was something to fight for, that we needed to have, to shine the spotlight on minority mental health because so many of us were struggling and we weren't getting the help that we need. And I'm going to give you a quote from her. People of color, particularly African Americans, feel the stigma more keenly. In a race-conscious society, some don't want to be perceived as having yet another deficit. And her next quote is, "It's not shameful to have mental illness. Get treatment. Recovery is possible." Now, we're still in a race-conscious society. We're still seeing our people murdered in the street. We're still not getting the care that we deserve. We still have medical racism. We still have, pay discrimination. All of these things are still there. And I'm not going to say that it's worse, but we're more, it's forced upon us more because of social media. Like we have 24/7 access to the shitholes of situations in the world. So it's kind of hard to maintain your sanity, when all this is going on. So National Minority Mental Health Month. So all month long, myself, many more advocates, therapists, psychiatrists, if you go on Instagram, and that's just one example because there are many on TikTok also, we'll be highlighting different features and giving out different information for Minority Mental Health Month. And you guys, I want you to take advantage of the information because not enough of us are getting treatment. And I know that there are barriers, like the cost. Hell, I'm behind on my therapy bill. Like the cost is crazy. Medical coverage is not what it used to be, so it doesn't cover everything. And a huge thing is not having culturally relevant psychological care. There are not many black therapists in the world. We're just the world. I'm not even going to say just in my state or in your state. It's in the world. The numbers are getting higher. More of us are, going to school for it. More black women than black men, but the numbers are up for both. And so, particularly on Instagram, I know that there are many men that are mental health advocates. I know I follow about 5 black male psychologists. So don't let anything stop you. If you cannot afford to get medical care right now, at least start reading information. At least start learning about, your symptoms and what you may be going through. Learn about what depression really is. Learn about what anxiety really is, what schizophrenia really is. Let's include autism because, that's a hot topic right now too. But there are so many different symptoms that go across the gamut. They run the gamut and they all interact and they twist up, somehow. Like I have a medication that I take for my anxiety, but I also take it for my fibromyalgia, for the body pain. So, there are medications that cross over and the symptoms cross over. So, get the knowledge, if not for you, for your family member, for your friends, for your children, learn what it is to have a mental illness. And you can go from there. Since the pandemic, of course, now virtual telehealth is a major thing. So you don't even have to go into the office anymore, maybe for your first visit. Or, if you have to go to the psychiatrist, you would have to go in for, medication update. But, most doctors have telehealth options now. So there's no excuse, guys. Get out there and get the help that you deserve because, with everything that's going on in the world, we need to, get healthy, get our minds right because seems like we got a fight on our hands, y'all. So, you know, what are you going to do? Like it's just a lot. I know it's hard to keep up with the shit that's going on. I'm not going to talk about it. I don't, like I can barely, like I can barely handle the shit that's going on in my own personal world. So, but I want to give you, before I get on to other things, I want to give you some Google facts. Did you guys miss my Google facts? I put one on Twitter. But they don't get all the Google facts just like you guys. Um, in 2024, 21.4% of Black or African Americans reported having a mental illness in the past year compared to 23.9% of whites. Only 39% of Blacks received mental health services compared to 52% of whites. In 2022, the suicide rate among Black youth ages 10 to 19 surpassed that of their white counterparts, increasing 54% since 2018. From 2007 to 2020, the rate rose 144% among 10 to 17-year-olds that are Black. That is just, it's so dangerous, and the pandemic did nothing, to help. We're all going to be living with the side effects of the pandemic for many, many years. So start reading, start teaching yourself what mental illness looks like. Maybe take some baby steps. Maybe if you don't want to take regular medication, maybe start researching natural methods to help you feel better. I hear vitamin D. Get your vitamin D levels checked, magnesium, and those St. John's wort. Those are just a few that I have heard over the years. So start getting some help. And as always, if you need information, if you need, someone to help you, divawithdepression.com, diva, DIVAWDEP@gmail.com, or message me on social media, and we will get the information that you need. There are loads of resources at divawithdepression.com, so don't hesitate to go there. And it's not just mental illness resources. There's a wonderful podcaster who deals with cancer in our community, so that's a resource, because that can definitely influence your mental health. So I'm hopefully going to have a guest on this month to discuss their cancer battle and how it affected their mental health. So stay tuned. Hopefully I'll get some men on this month, some brothers on this month to, share with us how they really feel and what they need, you know. So part of the reason why I have not been recording is because I feel like shit, y'all. I feel like shit. And it's over a year that I've been feeling like this, and I just keep hoping that it's going to get better, because I've done this for it feels like all of my life, and it probably is all of my life, but more severe, since 30 years now, 35 years. So when I started feeling the darkness, the deep darkness, because I'm always in darkness, but when I started feeling the deep darkness coming back, I just, I was like, please, 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 monster, go away, go away. I'll be your friend. I'll give you some candy. Just go away. And, I was, I was at the point where I was in deep darkness, but I was still able to pull myself out. So I found things to do. I was able to continue volunteering. I was, able to work, on my platform and different things like that. And so I tried, y'all. I tried, and it just seemed like as time went on, the deeper and deeper the hole got. And by the time October last year came around, I could not. It was like I was in quicksand, and there was no way that I was getting out. And, there are different things. First of all, my children have, just thinking about them, has always helped me to keep fighting. And that's not helping right now. And that's when I knew that it was pretty bad, because, they're my whole body and soul, So the doctor is, she's at a loss, the therapist, she's not at a loss, but she's scared, and I think that's the word that I will use for both my psychiatrist and my therapist. They're both scared. And they've suggested several times that I go inpatient, but I don't think that they really understand how uh, um, triggering and traumatic it is to be inpatient. It's like being in a prison, really. Um, so I refuse to do that, especially in the state that I live in. I don't remember having good experiences when I was inpatient here, as opposed to when I was living in New Jersey. And not that it was good in either state, but at least the facilities and the care was much better in New Jersey than it is here. But that was 2008. I think the last time that I was inpatient here was 2009, I believe, or so. So, um, I'm just stuck in that quicksand, y'all. And I was telling, my cousin asked me how I was, and I said I'm drowning in a swamp below the pits of hell. Now, y'all, and when I wrote it, I was thinking about Shrek. It's such a weird thing to do, but I was thinking about Shrek, like, you know, that's where I'm at, and I cannot pull myself out of it. There are days that I'm just sitting and staring, just staring. I can't sleep. My insomnia is worse than it usually is. The medications are not helping me sleep. They're not helping me relax. They're not doing anything. And although I can tell people that I'm not doing well, I cannot explain to them why I'm not doing well. And I think that makes it, and well, I know that makes it difficult for them to hear, but I can't, there's no description. There's nothing to describe other than saying that I'm in hell. And it's it's a fucked up place to be. That's the only thing that's the only way to put it. It's a fucked up way to be. It's a fucked up way to have to live. And it's just, it's overwhelming, and I don't say these things. I don't share these things. And I posted this on social media today. I don't share things for likes and numbers and all those things because, people ask me what my numbers are, how many followers and how many this and that or whatever. Fuck if I know, because I didn't start my platform for that. I started my platform because I wanted to help people. I wanted to share my experiences so other Black women knew that they weren't by themselves, um, and that other teenagers, young ladies, understood that what they're feeling is not strange. It's not in their head. That that it's real. These feelings are real. And so that's why I started my platform. And I that's my thing. I have to let you guys know the real untold story, you know, because that's one of our biggest problems in the Black community is that we don't talk about it. And then when we do talk about it, we gloss over it, talk about it in general. Oh, I'm not feeling well today, but whatever, whatever. My favorite word, oh, I'm okay. Oh, I'm fine. And I'm not. I'm not fucking fine. And so I had another show that I was planning for the first week in Minority Mental Health Month, and I decided not to. I decided to share this because, and I know that I keep saying it, and I know that you keep hearing it from everybody, but there's just such a heavy feeling in the air. And it's not just politics, it's not just, the recession and COVID numbers go, like, it's not just that. It's like the whole world is heavy. Like the air is heavy, the soul is heavy. And that's one thing. but it's also affecting people's mental health. And, a lot of people think, oh, I'm just in a funk for a day, I'm just going to do, maybe I'll get away and that'll make it better. No, no, it doesn't work, because you're not addressing what's really going on. And so when I tell you that I am in the depths of hell, I want you to understand that if you're in the depths of hell, like black women can be in the depths of hell, black men can be in the depths of hell. There's nothing um, strange about that. It's not out of the ordinary. There are millions of us, as I said in the beginning, that are living with these mental illnesses. And so, insomnia, you know, like I was always told growing up that I just like to sleep during the day and stay up at night. I'm a night owl. I found an article about that today. And I mean, somebody posted about it on Twitter today, a great post if you want to go to my page. And that's not just it. I mean, I am a night owl. I get my flow going around 4, but it's also because I have insomnia so bad that I can't sleep. And then, if you can't sleep, then you can't think straight, and the fog starts, and the exhaustion, and it makes it hard to function. And that, on top of depression, or on top of the anxiety, on top of the ADHD, we're all, not all, but there's millions of us walking around carrying these things. And so I'm going to tell you that my insomnia is fucking crazy, because I know that there are millions of us in our community that are living with some crazy fucking insomnia. I'm going to tell you that my mind is just completely fucking blank. I call it cotton brain. Like I can't I'll have a thought and 2 seconds later I can't remember it. I write stuff down, I forget it. I don't even talk about fucking changing passwords it's just ridiculous every 5 minutes. And so I want to share that with you because there are millions of us going through it. Chronic pain, I share with you guys about fibromyalgia, PCOS, different things, arthritis, like different things that I got going on in my body. And so that is an addition to my severe treatment-resistant depression. Millions of us are going through that. As a matter of fact, if the doctor tells you that you have fibromyalgia, if you look it up, depression, anxiety, those mind fog, those are symptoms of fibromyalgia. So it's like, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Did you get fibro first, or did you get depression first? But it's important to understand that there are things that physically happen to us that affect our mental health. And like I said earlier, the side effects just cross, just cross and cross. Exhaustion, guys, the exhaustion. And it's not an exhaustion that sleep can fix. It's an exhaustion like your soul is tired. And I don't think that, there's a day that I don't wake up and feel like I shouldn't have woken up. And there are millions of us that feel like that. And that doesn't mean that I have a plan written out. That doesn't mean that, I'm a danger to myself. That's just what I think, because like I always said, and this is just my personal opinion, death is sort of peace for us. Like if I, you know, wasn't here, then I wouldn't have the hamster running around in my brain. I wouldn't be crying all the time. I wouldn't be, anxious all the time. My PTSD would be gone. Like, just different things. It would just be peace. There wouldn't be a fucking monster screaming in my head 24 hours a day. And so, no, you don't have to be suicidal to think about that. That's another thing that, that's why I keep sharing this, because, black folks don't want to talk about suicide. It's a sin, and da 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 da. And it's not just black people that think it's a sin, but I'm just talking about us, and so it's a thought, it's something that we think about, you know, relationships, I don't want to talk, I don't want to talk. I, it takes me, it takes so much out of me to have a conversation, and I'm not a phone person anyway, but the past year has just been like holding the phone is heavy for me. Like it's exhausting to even hold the phone. And lately, just texting or, being on social media, like it's too much. And the spiral is real. And so, I wanted to share that with you because if you feel yourself spiraling, number one, want you to know that it's not unusual. You're not by yourself, and that there are reasons. If you're spiraling, there are reasons. There are legitimate reasons why you're spiraling. And you have to find out why, because you don't want to end up in a danger zone, like me, where you can't pull yourself back. I don't know how I'm going to pull myself back. I don't know. My psychiatrist, changed the meds around a little bit the other day, and, we'll see where it goes, but I don't know how I'm going to do it, and this is what's really pissing me off, is that I don't have one, like, there's no one thing that has taken me here, the loneliness, I miss my kids. I miss being in the same space with my children. I'm not even in the same state with them, so that, you know, not being in a relationship, just not having many friends, access to my friends, I should say. I've been thinking about a lot, my parents, my father, things that went on with my father, and, nobody on my father's side of the family talks to me. They don't reach out, they don't check on me or anything like that. And, I had to stop, and I'm like, well, have y'all been fucking lying for all these years? Like, did you really give a shit? And, thinking about him and the things that I'll never get to say to him, he'll, and the way he treated me in death, that I'm still struggling with. So there's that, my relationship with my mother, not being able to tell her what she did to me. And, but on the flip side is that she's older now, and we do have to step in and do things for her and take care of her. And how do you take care of the people that abused you? It's the same thing with my ex. Of course, we're still friends, and, we have our beautiful kids together. And, there are some days that I'm like, how am I doing this? How am I not beating the shit out of him every single day? Like every time I see him. Because these are your abusers, and you have to find a way to live with what they did to you and keep your humanity. If that makes sense to you guys, like, I am never gonna not, help my mom, because that's just not who we were raised, how we were raised. And of course, in the Black community, we don't do that. We're going to we take care of our um, relatives that have sexually abused us, mentally abused us. Like, it doesn't matter, you know, we do it. And yeah, that's sitting on my head. Trauma, there's some uncovered trauma in my life, and I don't know if it's coming to the forefront. But that's another thing. That's why I share that with you, because that's common, guys. Something that happened to you at 6 years old, you may not think about it until you're 50 years old. And it could just be the most minor thing that will trigger it, you know? Like, I'll give you an example. One of my abusers, you know what triggered a memory? There's a commercial. And the man on the commercial sounds exactly like this person. And every single time the commercial comes on, I get anxious. I get anxious because if I'm not looking at the TV, but you still hear the voice, I will actually turn the TV all the way down or go in another room. I'm serious. But it's stuff like that. Like, that's something that can trigger you. A smell, a taste, a room, um, just anything. So, you know, I'm sharing that with you also because I want you to know that it's common and it's not unusual and you're not crazy. um, although I am crazy, but I'm not crazy. You know what I mean? Yeah, we're so sensitive nowadays. There's certain words that we can't use, but I'm crazy as fuck. I don't care. And I keep saying it. I don't care. You know, I know it's not politically correct, but I'm crazy as a bed bug, y'all. So, but we're not crazy. There are valid reasons why we are the way we are and why we are where we are. And, I hope that I can pull out of this, this quicksand. I hope that my stay in Quicksand City helps you guys, but I want you to know that it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. And if there's somebody that's shaming you or making you feel like your feelings aren't valid, fuck them. Don't talk to them anymore. You don't need that. You need someone that's going to support you, and vice versa. If you see somebody in your life that is struggling, then support them. You don't always have to give advice. Sometimes it's just getting a cup of coffee, you know, sharing jokes, memes. My friends and I, that's what we do all day, share memes. you know, it, it's it, it's not always a heavy conversation unless that person wants to have that heavy conversation. And sometimes they want to talk. They don't want you to give advice. They just want you to listen. And sometimes you just need somebody to be there. Me and my girls, and I had to get used to this, but if there's something that like we'll be on FaceTime and not talking, doing different chores or different, whatever. And I had to learn to get used to that because the kids, that's their thing. um, but not, I'm like, well, why are we here if we're not going to talk to each other? So, but I've gotten used to it because it's comforting. It's sort of like um, a blanket. It makes you feel secure to know that you're with someone. Even though you're not with them, but you're with them. And so if you have to make an important phone call and you're anxious, if the three of us are on FaceTime, then we can do that. If there's an assignment that they have to do and they maybe need to run it by someone or talk it out or just do their homework, and the other two are on, or I'm on with them as they do their homework. It's a comfort thing. So if that's what you do, that's what you do. There's no wrong way to support yourself and to support the people in your world. And so, again, for Minority Mental Health Month, I want you to, number one, start writing down symptoms, your symptoms, children's symptoms, parents, because the rate for senior citizens is sky high too. The rate for people living with dementia is sky high. So, yourself, the people in your world, pay close attention to your children. But write these things down and research it. If you see that your child is sleeping a lot, then talk to them about that. Or if you see that they are withdrawing from their social circle, pay attention to that. Using vices, maybe coming home, drunk at 13 years old and smoking, or, even, overeating and stuff. Those are things that you pay attention to and you write it down, and they're not uncommon, So do the research. I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to start sharing some books and some movies, even movies, that you can watch or read and learn a little bit from about mental health. But just be proactive. We are all we have. You have to advocate for yourself. You can't wait for a doctor to advocate for you, because some of these fuckers just don't care. Yeah, the medical profession is a piece of work. So you have to learn to become knowledgeable about what's going on. And I'm not just talking about mental illness. I'm talking about across the board. If you have heart issues, brush up on that. If you have diabetes, brush up on that. But we have to advocate for ourselves. We always have to have that encyclopedia in our back pocket, so they can't just tell us anything. So that's what I want you to do for me. I want you to start doing it this month. If you want to go to a support group, look for some virtual support groups. And you don't have to talk. You could just sit in and listen to other people share. But take a step, okay? Just take a step for me. And like I said, divawithdepression.com, social media. If you need to reach out, please feel free to reach out. Thank you for sticking it out with me. Even though I was MIA for a couple of weeks, thank you for supporting me, because there are people that reached out. We're kind of concerned, like, where are you? Even though I was on social media, I wasn't as active as I usually am. And I still haven't gotten back to 100%. But if you need anything, reach out. Go to the website. Just take a baby step. Just take a baby step. That's all we can do. And if that's all you can do, I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you. So thank you for listening. I hope that you guys have a great week. I hope that you stay cool, because I know that it's brutal in some places. I know here the heat index was 108 today. So stay cool, hydrated, and just take care of yourselves, guys, okay? I hope that you find some peace, and I hope that you just hold on and be your beautiful selves. Okay? Take care. Bye.
Sometimes realize that